with the Union. If you look on Songkick, John Karabi and and Bruce Kulick are in this band, but they are not. And I just wanted to ask about, everyone's talking about pledge music. I suppose it's a feature of a lot of rock interviews now, isn't it? But I went to recently interviewed Jizzy Pearl from Love Hate, and he said to him it still seems like mooching. He doesn't he felt uneasy about doing it. I mean, how did you guys need convincing, or did you just think this is a great idea straight off?
I mean, our manager when we first got together before we made the first record, our manager at the time sort of came to us and said, "Well, how about just pledge music and explain it to us?" And we were uncomfortable with it. We thought, "Well, that's a bit," we just didn't feel right to us at the time. But then for this record, we sort of, we went to meet the people at Pledge. We'd heard about Ginger Wildheart, he'd done well and stuff like that. We went to meet them, and they were really cool, and so they explained it to us, and it kind of made a lot more sense, really. And the idea of, your fans pre-ordering, that's the key word, I think. And it's really cool, really. And I think everybody's getting, the fans are getting their heads around it, and everybody so far has said it's been great. They've really enjoyed it. We've really enjoyed it, and I think it could be the way to go. Really, I mean, now there's no record labels anymore giving money out and stuff. So
yeah, the interactive nature of it, I think, is the most interesting part. I mean, in that we did things like we had people into the studio while we were recording, and people come to watch us rehearse before the tour, and we're doing things where some coming into the sound check, and we did it this evening, and. So it's not. I don't think it's for some bands. I don't think would be able to cope with that level of, proximity to the fans. No, but I think fortunately everybody in this band is a fairly naturally gregarious person and likes meeting people. So, and most of the people, have been really sweet and really interested, and I think it promotes the kind of the relationship between the musicians and the fans. I don't think that's a bad thing, and it's just, it really cuts out the middleman, doesn't it? I mean, that's the whole point about it. It's like going straight to your fans, and you write the music and you give it straight to them, and they give you money, and it doesn't go right around the houses through the shops, through the labels. So in a lot of ways, it's a lot more honest than the industry was, certainly 20 years ago. So I think it's a good thing, and if people always vote with their money. If they don't want to do it, they won't. But so far, it's been great. I recommend it. I think, for a band that's it's got a reasonable size following, I think it's a really good thing to do. And it makes you think about all sorts of aspects, of running a business that musicians don't really want to get involved in initially. But you do, and the hands-on nature of it, I think, is benefits, the fans, because everything they get from you has had your hand in it, and your seal of approval in a way. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, but everybody we speak to, say, they feel that they're a part of the album, which is, I mean, that's great, if they feel that way. So that's the main thing.
Now, Pete,
quite a few of the songs already.
Right, and there's such a it's so diverse a record. I've only had the chance to have a really quick listen to it, but do we all have really short attention spans in the 80s and 90s?
Well, I do, yeah. I get really bored very easily, so yeah, and it's good to play around with different genres and whatever. I don't really think about it in that way, to be honest. We just sort of write songs that we that we think are good, and have some fun, really. Because I'll just get bored stiff. I think that would be the same if we did the same thing over and over again. So many other bands are doing that. So
it must be refreshing to have that freedom, though, that people sort of don't really know what to expect when they pick up your records, do they?
Well, that's good. I think that I think all the bands, most of the artists that we admire, whether it be the Beatles or Zeppelin or everything from Pete Street and Neil Young and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. But with the kind of artists I think that we like, tend to be artists that do what they want, and and because this is completely our thing from the bottom to the top, from the business to the whole thing, we can do what we like. All we need is for people to buy it. But so obviously people have got to like it. But so far so good, and this tour's shaping up to be fantastic, and so obviously we're doing something right. I think the fact that the band's diverse and isn't predictable and has a range of musical dynamics, I think lots of people like that. The first people weren't too sure. I think when we first came out the first record, a few people
I think a few people were pissed off actually. You know, so what's with the country music? You know, hang on a minute. What do you expect it to be a straight ahead rock band? I think. But I think now, you know, 3 albums in, people, you know, kind of know what we're about, sort of. You know,
they've got it.
Yeah. And I think, you know, that's great.
The thunder questions. I'm sure every interview you get asked about them. I don't know whether you find them annoying or not, but these shows that are coming up with Journey and Whitesnake. I mean, are they an interruption to what you're trying to do here? Like, hopefully this project gets some momentum, and then you sort of all has to stop again. Is that just the way things are these days, or what
well,
are your thoughts?
the Journey and Whitesnake thing actually was a bit of an afterthought, because what happened was we with the Union we did, I think, 7-8 festivals last summer, and to be perfectly frank with you, with Thunder, we needed to raise some money. So we had a couple of hefty tax bills, and I'm just being completely honest here. So we thought, well, hey, let's go out and do some festivals. But it's not really kind of a matter of prioritising things particularly, as you know, it was the only way we could sort of do it and fit it all in. But basically, no, it's not going to interfere with the Union at all. The Union is very much, just to be absolutely crystal clear about this, Union is absolutely my priority, and you know, and will remain to be so. The great thing about Thunder is that, you know, because of 20 years of history and stuff, to go out and do a few gigs doesn't take any more time than that, because there's no new record, there's no new album. So I see it as something that's necessary at this stage. So we'll do it, and then, you know, we'll talk about it beyond that. I mean, the Christmas show thing that we do happens every year anyway. You know, and that's kind of like a sort of a bit of a knees up, really. You know, Pete comes along and does that as well, and we just have a laugh and do a couple of shows, and it's great fun. But you know, beyond that you know, nothing really. So I still enjoy playing with Thunder, but I don't see it as being. I see it as being then, but this is very much now.
And Pete, you like, you know, Nirvana was a big influence on you early. I mean, I don't know, I haven't seen you ask this question. How big a Thunder fan were you back, you know?
I was, to be honest, I was a bit young for that. Sorry. Well, I'll get me going. Well, I kind of missed that whole thing, sort of. Yeah. I mean, I missed the grunge thing, really. It was my sister who was into it. Now, I sort of, you know, I got into that when I was about 11 years old, and Cobain had been dead for about a year or something, yeah. So I kind of missed that.
You're making me feel very old.
Sorry, yeah. But yeah, so I kind of missed out. I think Thunder was before that and stuff, so I kind of missed out on all that. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, when I met Luke, we, you know, give me all the stuff and sort of got into them and stuff. But yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, that was what got me into playing all the sort of the